Good
morning,
YouTubes.
We are on another adventure, this time in the Black Hills of South Dakota. While we're here in this area, we thought we should go to Mt Rushmore. We're close by, but I'll be honest, it's not something that's ever been on my radar. Not something I've been super interested in. I think Steve has been here before when he was young, but does Steve remember anything about it?
I think there are like 4 dudes up on a mountain or something.
So, if you've been to Mt Rushmore, let me know what you think, or if you haven't, let me know if it's on your list. We'll have to see what I think after our visit. Yesterday we wrapped up our time in the Badlands, which was amazing, so if you missed that video, go back and check it out. Then we made our way last night to Rapid City, and because we're only about a half an hour away from Mt Rushmore, we thought we better check it out before continuing our adventure. That's cool. This is fun. This is a cute little town.
It's perfect if you need your trinkets, knickknacks, or doilies.
I see 2 of the presidents. There's Washington and Jefferson. I see them. I see the faces.
Hey, good morning.
Well, this is a national monument, and usually our annual National Park Pass covers that. But at Mt Rushmore, they get you on the parking. We didn't know that. So I think right away, Mt Rushmore, you lose a van off my rating.
Yeah, so we were chatting with the parking lot attendant fella by the name of Brian, and he said, oh, we don't charge for the park. It's free, but we charge for parking. Tomato, tomato, in my opinion. So despite all of these big-time donors, they still have to charge $10 a vehicle to get in.
Visitors were in attendance on August 10, 1927, when President Calvin Coolidge arrived at Mt Rushmore for a celebration to mark the beginning of the carving.
Carving on Mt Rushmore started in 1927 and ended in 1941. That's 14 years. It was also in the height of the Great Depression.
There were pointers, drillers, dynamiters, carvers, winch operators, laborers. These men would have to walk 700 steps and some inclined rampways to get to the top. And if they're drilling, they have to get hung over the side of the mountain in these leather-strapped Osen chairs and drill into the mountain.
About 450,000 tons of granite were removed during the carving process. The only tool that can do that for you is dynamite.
Just smell the fresh pine sol. These carvings are so lifelike. Thomas Jefferson even has a booger. So a little known fact, AT&T has finalized an agreement with the federal government to put a cell phone tower right on Washington's dome.
We wrapped up our time at Mount Rushmore and decided to drive some of the scenic 16A highway. Iron Mountain Road, part of Route 16A, is approximately 17 miles long and famous for its pigtail bridges, one-lane tunnels that perfectly frame Mount Rushmore, and winding curves. The road is part of the Peter Norbeck Scenic Byway, a 70-mile loop in the Black Hills. It links together several famous roads including the Needles Highway, parts of Route 16A, and portions of Highway 87. It was named after Senator Peter Norbeck, who helped design and promote these scenic routes. Leaving Mount Rushmore, we have come on a scenic highway, the Iron Mountain Highway. Alright, so we started here and we're coming down 16A. Started making our way back down the windy road. If we'd had more time and it hadn't been so hot, we would have loved to have done Custer State Park and the Needles Highway, since we were so close by. But we also weren't sure if our van would fit through the tunnels and narrow areas of the drive. We'd love to explore that sometime in the future, but not today.
Well, Audra, what do you think of Mount Rushmore?
Well, let me start by saying I think it is quite impressive what they were able to do years ago on such a large scale with that kind of sculpture in granite. But as far as the park goes, my opinion and perspective from earlier still stands. I just was not wowed at all. There are some places where you get there and you look around and it's just overwhelming and amazing. For me, Mount Rushmore is not much different in person than actually seeing pictures of it or videos or other things. So I would say my opinion is it's not really worth driving really far to see it. If you're in the area, maybe it's worth it, but I just wasn't wowed. The other thing is you can see Mount Rushmore in the faces from other spots outside the park. So you can see it for free without paying the $10. I know $10 isn't a huge deal, but to me, especially when we were expecting to get in there for free because we had the National Park Pass. That definitely was a strike. I also would say that I probably enjoyed just our drive on 16A after more than the actual park.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think staying on 16A and driving up the mountainside, you get some pretty cool views of it that way. I was a little put off by the $10. I don't know. Yeah, I know it's only $10, not a big deal. But they've got huge donor plaque that, some big time donors. And I don't know, just seems a little unnecessary to charge to go see that. Or at least let it be part of the National Park Pass. Anywho, I am impressed by the ability of all those workers and what they were able to do. And it was neat to learn they kind of changed their minds as they went along a little bit. What we see today wasn't the initial concept. They actually moved some presidents around to make it work. And anyway, I'm glad we went. It was fun.
There are also some really neat things in the area, including Custer State Park, which has some really neat drives and views. But we just decided we're not going to do that this time. It's $25 to get into the park, and it's supposed to be 96 degrees today. That's a little bit hot for sightseeing. So we are going to try to plan accordingly, maybe spend some of the time inside today, try to find a shady spot later, and stay cool the best we can. On a side note, or related note actually, it's good that we left the Badlands when we did, because that's actually supposed to be up to 105 tomorrow. So I'm glad we're not still there. Just a little update, you guys. We got to Panera and we debated what to do because it's so hot and there were not many shady spots around. So Steve actually scouted around the parking lot and he found a shady spot. Well, it's partially shady right now, behind some stores. As the sun moves across the sky, it should be getting more and more shady. It's already over 91 degrees here in the van. He's going in Panera to do some work so he can enjoy the AC. I'm going to stay out here in the van so I can keep the van open more than we usually would if we're not in the van, so the kitty can stay a little bit cool. And I think I'm going to take a nap, and hopefully there'll be enough airflow so I'll stay comfortable. At least it's not super humid in this area. It doesn't feel humid at all, so I think that helps make it feel a little more bearable, but still not super fun. The other option we considered was going to a local park that's about 20 minutes from here. We looked at the aerial view of it, the satellite view, and it looked like there were some trees that we could maybe park under, but we realized there's no guarantee that those spots would be open. So we thought it'd be good just to park ourselves here and ride out the heat. Thankfully, in the next few days, it's supposed to drop and get down into the 70s again. we have survived the heat of the day. We had to regroup a little bit after our time at Panera and hanging out there to figure out what we're going to do the rest of the day and in the next couple days, because the temps are predicted to be a lot higher than we were expecting. We decided to come back up to the overlook where we were last night. We thought maybe there'd be a nice breeze here and it'd be a little bit nicer, and that thought proved to be right. So it's turned out to be a pretty nice evening. Alright, you guys, one more stop for the night. This is actually where we were going to go last night, but we liked the spot where we were so much we stayed there and didn't come here. But you can actually see this from where we were. It's kind of quirky little place. Let's check it out. I don't know how this park came to be, but it's free. Like I said, kind of quirky. So I thought, oh, we should definitely check it out. Steve is down in the van watching a basketball game. It's getting dark, but I at least wanted to get a quick look at some of these dinosaurs. Well, that was fun. There's some great views of the city and horizon, and the dinosaurs are fun. After I do my laundry, I give it to Steve to squeeze out. I actually had forgotten my phone in Planet Fitness, so I went back in and I came out. And look where my delicates are. He put them up in the windshield.
Take the next right, then turn.
Last night we stayed at Planet Fitness. It's where we've been staying while we've been in Rapid City. And then this morning we went and got ourselves cleaned up, and we also did some laundry. Then we headed to Panera to get this guy some Go Juice and our van some Go Juice. We are back on the road now, but we are not heading in the direction we initially planned. It's a lot hotter than the weather forecast had initially predicted when we checked it a few days ago. It has been super hot, and we expect it to be super hot in the whole Rapid City area. And we were going to explore around there all the way up to Devil's Tower, but it's going to be hot there as well. So instead, we are skipping all that, and we are heading straight to Grand Teton National Park. Welcome to Wyoming, you guys. We just pulled over right after the Welcome to Wyoming sign to make some lunch. What do you think, kitty? You like Wyoming?
You're a funny cat. What scares you, what doesn't? Wyoming, home of wide open spaces. I think we can probably see for 10 miles at a certain point the highway in front of us. And because it's so wide open, the winds are whipping. They're pushing us all around. And we saw our first tumbleweed.
Hear that? Super windy here. I looked up on the phone where we just were last, and it said 25 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. That's kind of crazy. And we think we may have seen a sign. The vehicles that were high profile were not supposed to be on this part of the highway, but we're not sure, and we don't know where else we could go. A little crazy right now. But as you can see, there are campers and tractor trailers that are driving this highway right now.
Turn left onto Wyoming 258 West Southeast Wyoming Boulevard. In 400 feet, turn left.
All right, well, we have made it to Walmart in Casper. Got a little break from that crazy driving with the high winds. We've been trying to figure out if the restrictions apply to us or not. So far it's been fine. So we gotta figure out if we're gonna keep going or not. But for now, we're gonna restock on some groceries. And while we have Walmart's free Wi-Fi, we are getting iOverlander downloaded for Wyoming. And we're looking for our overnight spot tonight.
And I find this kind of interesting. Montana, sell by July 1st. Wyoming, best by July 8th. Huh. You all ready for a magic trick? Abracadabra, whammy pajammy. Here comes some fudge track ice cream.
Well, it is ice cream party time. And boy, does it look good. Well, this hits the spot. It is pretty yummy and pretty good on a day where it's 95 degrees out. We finished our delicious feast of ice cream. We are back on the road. Thought I'd take a second to give a little bit of a Stephen Audra tip. You guys know that we like to save money. The other day when we were at Mt Rushmore, we saw people with ice cream cones, and it was so hot, we were like, oh, that looks good. But then we looked at the price, and it was approximately $7 a cone. So we talked it over, and we said, in the next few days, we're gonna go to Walmart and get a whole container of ice cream for $3, which is an 80% savings. And it was probably better ice cream, and we had toppings, so we put some peanuts and chocolate with cream on top, and it was pretty darn good. So tell us, would you pay $7 an ice cream cone? We think it's much wiser to get a lot more ice cream, even if you can't eat it all, and have a feast for a lot less.
Those of us in the business call that delayed gratification.
Happy to report that it doesn't seem nearly as windy now, and it seems like they have turned off the signs for the warnings of the high winds.
Alrighty, well, instead of making our way to Grand Tetons, we decided to stop at Riverton at a Walmart. We're gonna crash here for the night, make a little bit of dinner, and then be on our way tomorrow. Well, I guess there's a first for everything. It's not every day that you're sitting at a Walmart minding your own business and someone gets pulled over right beside you.
So that was our excitement for the night. We saw those flashing lights and wondered, we're gonna get kicked out of Walmart for the first time?
Look, our first glimpse at snow-capped mountaintops.
Good morning, you guys. We spent a leisurely morning at Walmart in the parking lot. It was quite cool this morning, so that was nice. We got some work done using the Walmart Wi-Fi, and now we are back on the road, and we are seeing snow-capped mountains for the first time on this trip. How cool is that? And the scenery in this area, in my opinion, is much nicer than when we drove through yesterday.
That's very pretty.
We have arrived in an absolutely fabulous area. The landscape keeps changing, like, around every bend. It's hard to even know, like, what to film. I keep taking video of everything. I'm sure I've missed a lot, but there are just so many colors, so many formations. There's a river flowing right along us that's beautiful. I think we both love this.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a wordsmith to begin with, and words are definitely failing me now, but this is amazing. This is everything I thought of when you think of the West. Beautiful.
After high temps, strong winds, and long hours of driving, we were thrilled to finally make it to the Grand Teton National Park. The first thing on our agenda was to find a spot for the night. We stopped first at Hatchet Campground, where there are paid spots at the bottom, but free dispersed sites up the hill. We headed to a spot closer to the park instead. After a bumpy drive up the hill, we found several campsites in an open area with amazing views of the Tetons. We found ourselves a spot and walked down the hill to use the toilet and check things out. There were wildflowers everywhere.
It's really not kind to make fun of horses like that. Yep.
Wow, there are so many wildflowers here. I am loving it. Well, it was quite amazing driving in here, don't you think?
Yeah, beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. And so now we have given you a little taste of the Tetons.
I believe it's pronounced Tetons. Teton.
Teton.
Grand Teton.
Teton. If you want to see more, you'll have to join us next time. Tomorrow we're going to start driving around and exploring the park, and we are really looking forward to it.
This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. As always, we love hearing from you, so drop us a comment below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And until next time, we'll see you.
If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram.